I had a nice story written on paper, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm just going to tell you why I think, as a politician, that IT and talking about IT in the Dutch politics is so important. Because the story of the former speaker, I totally agree with that story, and everybody knows that it's true, but we don't act as if it's true. Because the world is changing very, very, very rapidly, but something is very strange. In politics, it seems as if we are not talking, not debating, not having discussions about the fact that technology is changing all kinds of parts of our lives. And technology is also bringing a lot of new questions and a lot of new dilemmas to society. And at the end, the politicians have to find an answer to all those new dilemmas. But the crazy thing is that in Dutch chamber, Dutch parliament, we don't talk about it at all. And we have a Dutch saying, and I don't know who's Dutch here, who speaks Dutch here. The saying is, it's always funny when people try to translate a saying from Dutch to English. Maybe a funny part of my little story, but we have a saying, it says, in het land der blinden is één oog koning. In the country of the blind people, one eye is the king. And I'm the one eye, because I'm the only politician that has interest and thinks it's important to think about technology, digitalization, internet, and all those topics. And that's why they thought that I should be the IT politician of 2016. But it's very bad that I am the IT politician of 2016, because one of you should be that politician. So I hope that you first are going to win the blockchain event in February. I wish you all very good luck and a lot of success in that. And after that, if you have won the blockchain event, I want you to be a member of parliament. Because we need more politicians that know something about IT, that know something about technology. For example, my party, D66, tries to find an answer to a lot of those questions in our document. It's called the Techvisie. I hope you find a moment to read all the proposals that we wrote down there. For example, it's about the fact that encryption is very important to make sure that our communication is safe in the future. We are very worried about the fact that governments are trying to know more and more about all kinds of peoples and all the things that we are doing online. We had before Christmas, the end of 2016, we had a law about the possibility for the police to use 0 days to hack in our computers and smartphones, and we were really opposed against that law. And in a few weeks we will also talk about another law about the intelligence services that are going to be able to tap all the internet communication over the cable, which is not possible right now. So surveillance is one of the things that is really maybe one of the risks of the new technological possibilities. But there are also, and that's where I want to end my little story with, there's of course, politicians tend to talk about risks all the time, but of course there's a lot of possibilities. And I think, and I totally agree with the former speaker, that blockchain is a real big opportunity to improve a lot of systems. Not only banks or insurers or even DJ, I think it's DJ Hartwell, who's using it for copyright payments. In Honduras there's an example of registering the sale and ownership of land plots. There's a lot of possibilities to use blockchain technology in a good way. And we tend to forget the fact that also government is able to use blockchain in a very good way. For example, to fight against fraud and to organize a lot of payments to civilians in a better controlled way, without that necessary middleman, which is also, of course, the government itself is also one of the third man who should be cut out of a lot of systems to make the systems better. So also government should be able to use blockchain. We have put an amendment to the law that made clear about the budget law of economic affairs. We have an amendment of that, and there's 2 billion euros is made free for new projects with blockchain technology for government. So I hope that one of you guys is also going to use that money, that possibility to bring your ideas to government and to say, maybe my idea is going to help government to organize systems, payments, and all kinds of transactions in a better way than it's used now. So if you're not going to be the winner of the blockchain event, then maybe you can get some money from government to develop your idea to improve the systems of government. I wish you all a lot of luck. I hope to see you once in our parliament, because then I am not the IT politician of 2017 anymore, because it's something I cannot make sure that will be a good thing. So please take over my title and be the next politician, IT politician of 2017. Thank you very much. And excuse me that I have to leave in a few minutes, but I have some minutes to answer some questions.
Thank you very much. I have this beautiful chat box, which is a microphone for people who want to ask something to Kees. So please think about the question you have. In the meantime, I have one question for you, if I may ask. Because in our work, it's kind of difficult sometimes to explain what blockchain is. Like even just to explain the bare concept of the technology and why it's important takes half an hour or more, and then you only understand maybe 10% of what it truly is. How do you want to bridge the gap between the terminology that politicians have and the engineers that understand blockchain?
It's
I think it's quite a challenge.
Yeah, it's a horrible gap. And it's also horrible to have to answer that question in English about a very technical subject, but I'm going to try. It's true. I think language is one of the problems or one of the reasons that it's very difficult to talk about IT in general in politics, because politics is about headlines. Politics is about very evident and sharp stories. Politics is about a very clear message. And when I'm in my fraction, we have 12 seats in Parliament. When I'm talking about the importance of this theme, I try to tell my 11 colleagues why it's important, and then we are talking about technical things like blockchain, encryption, net neutrality, cookies, all those things. And then my boss, Alexander Pechtold, who knows Alexander Pechtold? Then he looks like, well, we should talk about education. We should talk about healthcare. So the difficulty is also in the language, in the words, in the technical terms. And I think when I had that debate about the hack law, which makes it possible for the police to use 0 days to break in our computers and smartphones, I spoke for an hour. And I did it because I took the time to totally explain the reason why I was worried about that law. And it worked, because I took the time, and it made clear to my colleagues even that something was happening with that law. So I think the answer to your question is we need to take the time to walk over that bridge between the engineers and the technical guys and the one-eye guys and politicians that tend to know something about it, but not enough.
Yeah, because when they think about cookies, they look around there where the cookies are.
I'm the one who thought was the baker of the cookie law. Eh? Oh, really? Excuse me for that. I'm very sorry. It was a horrible mistake. It was 2011. I was not IT Politician of the Year yet. And I thought, let's make a law that makes sure that all those companies from the United States, the big companies, cannot follow us on the internet without informing us. The reason for that law was great, but the way we wrote down the law was horrible. Excuse me for that. I will never do it again. We learn in politics. We learn.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question before. Is that okay?
Yeah, you know, it's a nice atmosphere, and it's good if I go there a little bit later. So let's do 3 questions.
3 questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there are 3 questions.
Audience. Here's one. You can just talk in the mic, and it should work.
There's going to be a new cabinet. How do you think IT is infected by that?
Yeah. Now, IT is another problem of the fact that the politicians have difficulties with organizing or finding solutions for IT problems is because all parts of government are taking a slight part of it, and there's no integral, how you say it, samenhangend, integraal? Coherent strategy or policy. That's why D66 in the tech vision, in our tech vision, we proposed to have a new ministry of technology and privacy as the coordinator of all government action and policy instead of all ministries that have a slight part of it. So we try to make one ministry responsible for all the IT policy. But a lot of people say that the only reason that I propose it is that I want to be that minister, which is not true. But that's the way we try to solve that problem.
Thank you very much. Another question, Roel?
Yeah.
All the way in the back? Shall we try?
Whoa.
Hello. So first of all,
You have to speak in that thing. I threw it for a
It's
reason.
nice
First
to put
of
it on
all-
your belly, but it's
okay. First of all, I really appreciate as a politician that you apologize for something and admit a mistake. No,
Oh,
really.
I also apologize for my bad English and my.
So every time I click on yes, I will accept these cookies again, I will think of.
It's
your
just a way to
apology.
make sure that everybody's thinking of me every day.
Yeah. It was done with the best intentions.
Yeah.
So I thought about accounting firms that have the challenge. How can we make ourselves superfluous, so not needed anymore, like banks? And do you believe in fluid democracy? Don't you think that this whole every 4 years we select representatives in parliament, and that is an archaic system? Technology is already there. That we, can go to a more fluid system with representative democracy, like in Athens, like on the square. We can organize this. So making a party like D66 also not needed anymore.
Yeah, well, it would be great if our party wouldn't be necessary anymore, because then we have a real democracy. I think we should end our party when we have a good democracy. Of course, we are trying to do or to organize a more direct democracy by the referendum, but you see what happened. And it's not a good way, because a lot of things are not clear, while a lot of people still have the feeling that what they wanted is not going to happen. And of course, in a democracy, never is going to happen what everybody wants, because it's not possible. But I think there will be, there should be more possibilities to make a more direct democracy, part of our parliamentary democracy. Of course, we have also people who are chosen in parliament and have to decide about things. But I think it would be really nice if we had a way, by technology, digital technology, to make it possible to know better and to hear more about what a lot of people think about certain subjects. But I think one thing we should never forget, at the end, it's about majorities. At the end, it's about deciding what you want. And I have sometimes a feeling that everybody thinks if we have a good technology, then we are going to have a more fluid, better functioning democracy. Well, at the end, still, people have to make a decision. It's going to be left or it's going to be to the right. And a lot of people will be disappointed after that, because they wanted to go to the other side. And the technology is not going to solve that problem. But the transparency and the way decisions are made can improve by technology. And I think we should look for that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's 3 now, so we have to be sharp on time.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good luck with your AMA.
I hope it will work out as well as this speech did. Thank you very much.